Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic and this is another reaction for Overlord Season 2, Episode 3. You know what to do. As always, just click on the link to watch it. Please be aware that I forgot to rename the episode, so over here will be something completely wrong. Just ignore it. However, the reaction should be the correct one. Enjoy it, and once you've done, feel free to come back here. For those of you that came back, welcome back. You might have realized that I have a picture here, because the last time in the outro, I missed this change. I missed the change of this girl, of the princess to whatever that is, that she is there. So, well, I guess it's still her, but possibly she's kind of freaky. I guess we will learn in the future. But it's a nice one. It's foreshadowing and looks really, really interesting. Although, you know, I do not like spoilers. And this is like, okay, well, it is done in the outro, so you're meant to see it, it's okay. But it would have been way more interesting if I would have been surprised in the series by it, at least in my opinion. But I think it was okay this way as well. So, let's go into the episode, shall we? First, as I said, please excuse me that I forgot to rename the episode. It happens from time to time. I was in a hurry. I didn't check everything as I should have. I liked that one. I really did. I liked the whole storyline evolving around the Lizard Man so far. Maybe because it is a typical kind of anime and hero story, you know? The underdogs winning against the way too huge force on the other side. So right now the underdogs have won again, which is the Lizard Man. That was faster than I expected. I really thought it would be stretched a bit more about multiple episodes and that they would go for multiple lines of thinking about the word, that there was plot lines, that they would show different plot lines and intermix them into the episodes so that we would jump back and forth between characters. And in the finale, they would culminate all of the plot lines. But no, they do, as it seems, finish one plot line after the other, which is okay for me. It's easier to follow. I like it. So, nice one so far. We went in with the fight between Zaryuzu and Sanburo. So, we knew there was a fight coming. Sanburo challenged him to a fight. As I know now, because, at least partial, because his hand, his body was damaged by the weapon that Zaryuzu is using. So the former owner of the weapon, which we don't know who it is, possibly beat him in a fight, I guess. It might be he didn't, but in case that Sanburo would have won, he would have had the weapon now, I guess. So he possibly lost in the past. So that's why he wanted to fight him, and he was even aware that he might die, which is strange. So he said, if I die, you will have to follow him. That was very fast-paced, you know. That was a bit surprising. The interesting thing is, well, they once again went to the Zaryuzu and Crush have a crush on each other storyline, which I like. It is a bit too much into your face, too instantly. But let's just say it's a very burning passion between those two, and they both are pretty open about it. So it's okay. The fight itself was interesting. So Sanburo started off using a two-handed axe, and the range advantage was to be seen. That was a major thing. And if he would have been able to use this axe furthermore, then I think he might have even won. But he got disarmed, and then maybe out of pride, because he was disarmed, or maybe because he underestimated the effects of the frost weapon, he did use his bare hands, his bare claws only. Because he's a monk, so unarmed fighting is his thing. He's even stronger unarmed. And against most other foes, this would have given him an advantage. I like the fact that in this case, wits won over strength. So it was not Sariusu did not overpower his enemy. He was aware of the ability of his weapon, that when he parries with it, it does small amounts of frost damage to his enemy, and thus his enemy is using his body as weapon. In the end, he disarmed him again, second time in a fight, which is why Zamburu stated he has won. So, clever too, Zamburu is not the stupid fighter. He is a melee fighter, he's a monk, but he's wise enough to see that he cannot win this fight anymore. He was aware my body is frozen. Every time I land now, I'm getting slower and slower with every attack. So this fight is already over. And possibly he went through which option he has. We've seen in the later fight this resistance ability he has. I think maybe this ability would have given him the upper hand. I'm not sure. So I'm not 100% sure if Sariusu won the fight completely, meaning if Zamburu might have been able to win. I think there might have been an option, but I think Zamburu is, as many of the lizards seem to be, wise enough to see that this is someone worth following, or at least worth listening to. So he said, I lost, it's fine. He then joined the alliance, which is not so much of a surprise. I mean, it was about you can run or you can fight, and this is a tribe of the fighters, so for sure they would go for the fighting. And then they went back to the village. So all tribes are already in one, because this last tribe already has the other tribes in it. So I thought they would visit more, but that was a very fast alliance building. It's just you have to see 2 other people and that's it. The other 2 were already informed, as it seems, and we've seen them in this kind of council. They are way more strange looking, you know, more like shamanistic and stuff. But that's fine for me. I mean, it's a very natural kind of living what they do. Yeah, that's the beginning. They talked numbers. So they had some pathfinders and spies out, watch the enemy. I think that Concitus was aware of being spied out, because he has this mirror which gives him a huge advantage. He already knows everything because he can watch them from afar while they have to move in. He has 3 times the amount of troops, although it seems that they are not as strong as the lizards are. And he has this lich, this elder lich in the backhand, as we now know. So I can see where this was going. And it's very nice that it was told to us by Demiurge what the real reason was for all of this. So it seems as though Ainz did not really want to overpower the lizard man. It was a test for his own man, for Cocytus. The fact that he gave him weaker troops, he could have given him stronger ones. But on the other hand, he gave him a trump card, in the meaning of the Elder Lich here. And he gave him, which I think is the most important thing, he gave him the mirror, so he can watch everything from afar, and he gave him the scrolls so that he has the option of communicating. Knowledge is power. That's the main thing here. I think his general did not do so well. He could see what the lizard men were building. He could have used the mirror to spy more, to see more what's happening. He could have used, I don't know what other abilities and options he has to gather information. And I think this is where he lapsed, where he did not do enough. So he just sent in a brute force, like full frontal attack. And once the frontal attack was done, he did send in his ace, which is right because then his ace is alone. He could have combined those 2 forces. So I think, I'm not sure what Ainz will say about it, but I think it will be more neither like, yeah, well, you did pretty good, but you have to learn a lot. if you really want to command. Because if you want to be a general, you have to adapt to like everything, and you have to be able to, before it's happening, always have options in mind. And Constitus was only reacting. That's the main thing here. So I think he did not do so well. However, I liked the Undead Army. That was a really cool designed and awesome looking Undead Army. So not just the normal soldiers and zombies. They were okay, but I liked the cavalry. Looked really good. I liked the fact that they had undead beasts in it, like wolves, boars, and bears. Because let's face it, why use only humans and orcs and stuff alike if you have an undead bear, which is a huge monster? So you can use it. Or talking about stuff like that, an undead hydra would be an option. Undead drakes, everything, you know, everything that it was living possibly can be brought back as an undead troop, and gives you a lot of advantages because they fight differently, and the enemy army has to adapt to the different kind of undeads. So I like that already. That was pretty nice, good looking. I liked how the lizards reacted. They were very well prepared. They had multiple options in hand. So they had their summoning circle, which brought in those swamp elementals, which killed off the major problems, so the big guns of the undead army, while they had a lot of normal melee troops, but they had ranged troops as well, slingers, which was surprising for me. So I thought they would be like throwing spears, but I think they were slingers, so stone throwers in the end, which is cool. Well, they were completely finished off by the undead archers, however, but I like this different kind of ranged fight as well. They talked before and discussed options about enemy leaders, so they made a small force of elite warriors ready, which makes sense. And if there would have been a clear visible leader, maybe they would have tried to, you know, rush through the middle and take off the head of the undead army. Especially in case of an undead army, if there's like a necromant or a lich, you want to kill that one, because in most cases the rest of the army then crumbles to dust. So that was a wise move, and in the end it paid off. They had a bit of luck in the end fight, no question there, but they supported each other, and that's the main thing. They were a group of people, while the Archlich was alone. Yes, he could summon some troops, but in the end he had a lone fight. I like that they showed a little bit of the options of the characters. So the monk with his resistance blocked the spell of lightning, which in the end secured his troop, his group of people. They used Rororo as meat shield. You can't say it any otherwise. He just ran through, trampled through, and took all the damage that the Archlich could put out until he fell, and then they were close enough. So that's loyalty. I mean, this is, in the end, it is a beast, but it has a good amount of intelligence, and it was clear it was aware of what that meant. So that was a sacrifice. I hope they all survive, but that could have gone wrong as well. I mean, it could very well be that Rororo, the Hydra, is dead by now. It could even be for most of the others as well. I think he did a mistake by shooting at the girl, although he is not aware of the consequences of that. I mean, it was just take out the healer and support, no question. I think it speaks volumes that Krush Lulu, that she did not heal herself, instead healed Sariuzu. I think there are many options you can see why she did it. Yes, she could have done it because there is love involved, so that's one option. But on the other hand, if you just talk by group fighting, it was more neither like a lost spell, you might guess. It was clear that he couldn't stand much longer, and if she would have healed herself, he would have fallen and the Archlich would have killed her off like nothing. You know, she has no chance against him. So she healed the warrior in the front and then fell unconscious. So I think it was the right move to do. And he did the fight was won in many ways by his equipment. As in this episode, every fight was won. The fight against Zamburu was won due to the special ability of his weapon. And the fight against the Archlich was won due to this as well, and his guts and hearts, no question there. So he used his weapon to freeze a little part of the lake. And I thought he did it so that the Archlich is trapped with his feet in the ice. I mean, he's not damaged by cold, but he would have been trapped, and he couldn't have moved around him and shot him with those 3 needle strikes, whatever that was. But it wasn't that, it was to create a fog, so that he did not see him coming, and he could stab him in the head. So, nice one. Gave him the win. And then he pumped one more time through. He had a second wind and pushed the weapon one more deeper into the skull of the Archlich. So there was just a final blow. But the idea of once again fighting with wits instead of pure power did secure him the win. Interesting is that the Archlich named Ainz in the end when he was dying. So he said Ainz Summer. I did hear that. I'm pretty sure that Zaryuzu is clever enough and realizes enough when it happens that he heard that. So I'm pretty sure he knows this name now, which might be interesting in the future. Because he stated in the past that he went out into the world. So it might be happening that he goes out into the nearby areas, which would be the kingdom, to search for where this attack came from. Because he should be aware that this very well might bring in another attack. The Archlich stated that he was created by the One. So you just destroyed something someone created. Which means if this someone really wants to beat you, he will send in something else in the future. So what is your only option? Either defend all the time, which you cannot do endlessly, or strike back, which means go out and find whoever this creator is. And he now has a name. So it might very well be that Zaryuzu is moving out and searching for Ainz. And there are some people out there who know the name of Ainz. And this is the king of Irantel and the royal head warrior, who by now still think of him very positively. That might change due to stuff like that. So that's one thing. It seems right now that all of this, however, was more of a test for Cositus, which I can understand. If you're searching for what you can give to your guardians, which jobs you can give to them. Some of them seem to be very, very good working alone, like Demiurge, like Sebastian, especially, who is he's on his own, just with one mate. While Cositus, although being a strong warrior and talking about strategy and tactics and being able to calculate it through in his head all the time, as we know from the past, seems to have some weaknesses in direct controlling a fight, which we've seen this time. So I think it was a test of Ainz, and we will see next time what will be the results of all of this. I'm pretty sure Ainz is not someone who will like completely destroy Cositus with words, but as we've seen in the small discussions where we had jumps to Ainz, he is not happy with the way it worked out. He really hoped for more. Not in the meaning of that they win. It seems he really hoped that Cositus would do more, in the meaning of use his resources in other ways, be more clever in the end. I think that's the thing, that it is kind of symbolic. Cositus is a full plate armored guy. But full plates always, or very often, are perceived as strong, sturdy, reliable, but not able to really move much. You know, they are like, they have a point and then they stand. And I think this is what it was about. Be able to adapt to situations, to change your moves, to use your options creatively. That is something that I guess Cositos is not very good at yet. And maybe that was what he's being trained in right now. Just guessing. So, nice one. Next time, however, I think we will hear the feedback of Ainz. I kind of really hope that Sariuzu is moving out, maybe accompanied by Crush and by Zamburu and on Rororo, maybe. Maybe we hear a little bit finally about the punishment for Scholtier, and I think we will jump to another scene, maybe Demiurge, or Sebastian, which are more neither the two major scenes which are out there at the moment, except for Cositos, which seems to be more neither over now. So, that's it. I hope you liked that. I did for sure. There was a very, very interesting episode. And I'm really looking forward to the next ones and to learn about what this strange girl here is. And that's it. As always, please feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. Leave a comment about all of this, and please don't spoil me, as you know. My name is Relax and Panic. That's it for this time. Goodbye and out.